Hello, welcome to the next Let's Play episode of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Today I have two guests with you guys, and first of all it's TK the Hedgehog, and then second it is Death20238. So what's up, guys?
What's up?
Hello.
And from the previous episode played by you, Death2, is that you're still trying to find, or should I say collect, all the 7 Chaos Emeralds.
Yep, it looks like we're still going at it. We're almost there though.
Do you find this special stage to still be quite difficult, like collecting like the last 3 or 4 Chaos Summons that we do need to collect?
I'm not sure really. I don't, it's been a long time since I've played them.
This is number 5 or 6.
I think we're on number 5 right now. Emerald number 5.
Yeah, so these special stages are still quite a gem to me, as I've said before, that many of the special stages in the classic games have really cemented a place in my heart that this recognizes the Genesis games as of old, because after the Genesis games, or should I say like the 90s Sonic games, like special stages have kind of disappeared from the Sonic franchise. Then they kind of re-entered again from Sonic Heroes, but many people didn't feel the same way as it did from the 90s some special stages, I guess.
For me, it was pretty nostalgic when they did it in Sonic Heroes. Yeah, it wasn't the same, but it was like, whoa, it's back. That arcade style, you know, stage after stage after stage, and then special stage in between. It's back. Oh my gosh. And I liked it because it made it challenging. It's like, but I already beat it with all the other teams. And it's like, well, you have to get all 7 emeralds to get the last stage. It was just kind of like in your face, like, wow, you have to do this. It made it fun. It was pretty challenging. There was so many nostalgic. What am I trying to say? Moments that they pointed to Sonic 2 directly. Like, it wasn't. They didn't point to Sonic 1. They didn't point to Sonic 3. It pointed to Sonic 2. Like Bingo Highway, for instance, with the little bouncy things that disappear when you hit them. That is so out of Sonic 2.
Yeah, that's pretty true, because that Sonic Heroes was described as the first 3D game that remained so true to the classic games. As I've said before many times, is that the classic games is pretty much the heart of the franchise, and like anything that goes with the classic is that it has to be kind of emulated in some way in the newer Sonic games for actually to be respected. Right. And like I've said before, that even though many people do see that as like it should happen in a Sonic game, that it should emulate it, I do think that Sonic Team should bring around new ideas that was cemented in the adventure games only, as I've said, like the upgrades and the different storylines that covered in the adventure games that made it so much of a special series that kind of separated the Sonic franchise, much to as like Heroes trying to bring it back into the classics. Even though Heroes is a very good game, but same time it didn't bring any new elements except for the team element, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. The team element, which is weird, and then the team-based story, which we kind of saw that in Sonic Adventure, but it was more individualized. You know, it was kind of like light or dark, but this time we had, you know, it was kind of repetitive. We saw the same story 4 times with different teams, but I mean, they all had their different stories, of course, but it was the same stages. Sonic and Shadow had longer parts. You know what that reminds me of, though? That kind of reminds me of Sonic 3. How when you play the game with Knuckles, yes, it's all the same stages, but he has different routes. Tails has higher routes. Knuckles has, you know, he can punch through certain rocks that Sonic can't spin dash through. So Heroes kind of, I don't know, it does kind of point to Sonic 3 as well as Sonic 2 with that.
Oh yeah.
Regard.
Yeah, like I said, that I think only the only 3D game that kind of emulated from the classic games, as people has said, is from Heroes and Sonic Colors.
Now that I don't agree with, simply because Colors, there's about as much canon in Colors as there is in the Mario series. You know, it was kind of out there. The thing is, people like Colors because, honestly, because Sega listened to them. They wanted Sonic Unleashed, daytime stages only, without a werehog. That's what Sonic Colors is, essentially. There are some items that are pretty nostalgic. There's some older enemies from Sonic 2 and the older Sonic games. There's a lot of 2D sections, but as far as canon goes, there's no canon in that game whatsoever. That might as well have been a Sonic reboot, and no one would have noticed. You know, like, in all honesty, that could have been a Sonic reboot, and no one would have said, oh, you know, where's this person, or where's that person, or where's this element? You know, it's just could have been a Sonic reboot. There's no spin dash. There's, you know, it's kind of reintroducing Tails into the series a little bit. But no, I definitely don't agree with that. Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 definitely had a lot of canon. They point directly to the classic games. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that don't agree, but it's there. The rivalry with Knuckles and Sonic, it's there. It's in dialogue, but it's there. You even fight Knuckles, just like you did in Sonic 3.
That's the fact that Angel Island is sitting right there the entire time too.
Exactly, and it's called Angel Island.
That's true.
And then there's, you know, even with Sonic Adventure 2, it's in canon because it takes off where Sonic Adventure left off. Therefore, it's in perfect canon, even if it doesn't reference Sonic 1 through Sonic and Knuckles at all. It references Sonic Adventure, which references Sonic 1 through Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're trying to say with canon-wise, but most of the fans that directed saying that the classic games was much more familiar to Colors was from storyline and how much vibrance it gave to actually playing the game, because that storyline from Colors is very lighthearted and scripted as comedy, whereas 3D games has kind of pushed it much more extra and kind of gave it kind of that hardcore feel, as I say, that what Sega should be. But many people also said that the classic games was very lighthearted because there was no cutscenes or cinematic effects that made it like anything else other than like what Mario was back in the day as well. So what do you think to that, like the lighthearted issues with the franchise, as well as Colors being taken out as very lighthearted compared to the other 3D games?
That is probably one of the best questions you've asked me since we started Sonic 2's Let's Play. Here's the thing on that. That's a lie, first of all. As far as there not being any cinematics, there is a ton of drama in the classic Sonic games. You have to find it. The turmoil that Knuckles goes through when Dr. Robotnik steals the Master Emerald in Sonic 3 and Knuckles is the same turmoil we see in Sonic Adventure. The only difference is he doesn't talk. That's honestly the only difference. He's devastated. When you see him on Sky Sanctuary Zone, how tired he looks, I thought Knuckles was gonna die. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, dude, what is going on here? That is pretty deep. It can honestly bring a tear to your eye, just like when Shadow died. Especially with the music. Oh my gosh, taking me back to my childhood here. But in Sonic 2, there were some cinematics. There was a lot of drama there too, with the song "Sweet Dreams" playing during the credits. You know, that song.